Hi, everybody. This is day 5 of our Kanebkota trip. And as you can see, I don't have this great background behind me, except for, well, this picture of the Appalachian Trail here. Uh, well, because while we were on the trip, I just kind of forgot, everything else we're doing on a vacation to shoot this day 5 video. So I'm at our house and we're going to do it now. We started at Watkins Mill State Park, got packed up pretty quickly, and then we headed down to the Liberty City area, and we went to the cemetery where Jesse James was buried and found his gravesite and with the headstones and such, and then across the way, we found an interesting thing, which was a Filipino restaurant in the middle of Kansas. Who knew? Anyways, unfortunately, it was still early morning, so they weren't open yet. Um, and I have to say, the weather wasn't very promising for today. It started overcast, very dark clouds, and kind of misting rain, um, even at 9 o'clock in the morning. But the time we got done with that, we actually figured out that we could go back to the homestead of uh, Jesse James because now they're actually open. There is a museum, which small, it was okay. The homestead was more worth it than anything else. Uh, and we got a personal tour by one of the volunteers. And this is it. By the way, the cemetery is no charge. Uh, the Jesse James Ancestral Homestead is definitely a significant admission charge, but it's been a national attraction since, well, frankly, Jesse James was alive. So you, either you pay or you don't go. We decided to pay, and I think it was worth it for us. From there, we headed uh, south back into Kansas City, and this time we're actually going to the heart of Kansas City because, well, we had kind of gone around it the day before. We stopped in the downtown shopping district, which was nice, expensive. Um, they have a museum there based on uh, a um, a steam wheeler that was wrecked. I thought it was the whole steamship itself. No, it was more a museum with things from the steamship. So, and when I saw the price of $15 a person, I was like, we're not doing this. Um, but they did have which was open to the public. You could see one of the steamships uh, uh, turbine wheels, which is the ones that kind of power through the water. That was pretty neat. From there, we drifted through downtown and the financial district and saw one of the new streetcars and also an old streetcar that had been turned into a restaurant. On the other side of downtown is what's known as Santa Fe Junction, which is where 5 different main lines of like 4 different high profile class 1 railroads meet. And it's just one of the places in the United States to go to watch trains. Um, the weather was definitely not helping at this point. It was drizzling already by the time we got there. Uh, Now, there's also, because it's such a famous site, there's also a webcam that streams video from the site. And, we kind of jumped around and said, "Hi, look at us, look at us, look at us." Um, in hopes that, and we also typed in, "Hey, we're here, we're here, we're here." Didn't get much response. And, oh, well. And I did check 2 days later, and we didn't make the highlights reel, which is really what I want to do. And that's like the fourth or fifth time that we've been in front of one of these cameras and we've not made the highlight reel. Yeah. Oh well. The other thing is train traffic was relatively slow. I think we spent like an hour there before we even got our first train, and that didn't even go all the way through. It went about halfway and stopped. Um, and just as we were backing up, about 15 minutes later, a local transfer job called Kansas City Transfer came through, and I did get that one at least. But by this point, it was raining, not just a little bit. So it was definitely time to pick up and go. We went to the Kansas side of Kansas City. We were on the Missouri side for almost the entire morning, up through Santa Fe Junction, and then we went to a relatively unknown spot called Caw Point. It is a park on the Kansas side, but it's where the Missouri and the Kansas City River meet, and it's quite dramatic, especially since when we were there, the river was running at um, full bank at bank full levels. So you couldn't get too close to the water because the current is really strong here and very deep. We're talking 50, 60 feet. And there was a giant statue of Lewis and Clark, who, if you don't know who they are, they're famous American explorers who explored um, the uh, Mississippi and the Missouri River, going pretty much everything uh, from a line from Chicago to New Orleans westward up through Washington State. There's a giant picture there. We also shot some more photos there, and you can check out the video too that includes this. In fact, we have a video of the entire day, so check that out. From there, we wandered north um, along, I think it was State Highway 75 or 74. Can't remember exactly the number, but um, you think Kansas is flat and treeless, and this was not this. This road had no straightaways. It was all over the place. It was just one long. It was like a curling snake. It's just like all the way for about 35 miles, all the way up to Leavenworth, Kansas, where we took kind of our last break of the day, which put us in late afternoon. And we just, there's really, uh, we try we knew that we couldn't get on the fort because every U.S. military installation now is on just permanent lockdown. And since Evelyn's not a U.S. citizen, it just pretty much made it impossible for us to go there. But we saw what we could outside, and some small places also along the way. We checked out a city campground in Leavenworth, and with a little bit of luck, we actually did catch a train um, outside the city campground along the river, and yeah, that was definitely a great video. And it's if it's not on the it's actually currently it's the lead-in video on our YouTube page. But if it's not there, well, there's also it'll always be in the train list. From there, we drove up to Atchison, and we got to Atchison about like 5 o'clock or so, and we did check out another campground on the way, but kind of, yeah, not for us. It just was just not a great, not a great one. We then um, we went up, and I have to admit, I went the wrong way. I can't should have just stayed on a state highway and drove straight up. No, I had to be cutesy and go all the way around on a dirt road and lose some time. But eventually, we made it to the Atchison State Fishing Lake and Wildlife Reserve, um, and threw our stuff there. And then we went down to Atchison itself, and we had a great dinner in an Italian restaurant. Oh wow! Oh, the food was really, really good. Uh, from there, well, we just really pretty much went back to the campsite, and you can check out our night video. Uh, and well, that does it for the day. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening.